motorcycle gas tank leak repair. Now, as bikes get older, a lot of them start to have leaks in the gas tank. And that's just because, hey, it's a steel tank and you have a liquid in there that's kind of corrosive. So you have to stay on top of this. And this is not about how to fix it, whether you should use epoxy on the outside or wash it, clean it out, and use some type of liner on the inside. Obviously, the majority of people who encounter this problem do the lining of the gas tank. And then that is basically they clean it out and pour a specific liner just made for that. In this video, we're not going to get into that part of it, except to say that, hey, it works. And it works really well. And, you know, one of the ideas behind that is if you've started to have a little leak in your gas tank and the bike is older, 10, 15 years or older, there's a good chance that some of the metal is rusted out on the inside in not just one place, but in several places. Or if not yet, hey, it's going to happen. So if you just use some epoxy on the outside in just one place, you may find that the problem crops up again in another couple of months. So personally, if I had that type of problem, I do the liner. Now, this is about a friend of mine who did the liner, and one thing that you should be very careful of when you're using the liner so you don't ruin the paint on your tank. And this is something that is often touched on in a lot of these how-to videos, but I don't think it's emphasized as enough. And hey, if you have an expensive paint job, you could really save a lot of money by paying attention to this particular video. Here we go.
Let's make sure you get that front wheel.
Hey Kevin, so what's happening with the bike here? No tank on it. What happened to it?
So I had a small leak right here at the seat area, and just a hairline split. It's just dripping enough gas to saturate the tip of the seat and a little bit dripping on the motor. So I bought some tank sealer, decided to seal that tank up, which I did. And I had the tank sitting overnight. I was very careful. And I had it sitting upright with the cap off, and overnight the fumes coming from the inside of the tank from the sealing product bubbled the paint all around the gas filler. So I have a friend who is trying to save me, and he's working on the tank right now. So it should be back in action here in another month or so and back on the road.
So what kind of advice would you give somebody who's going to be or has to seal one of their tanks so they don't have the same thing happen to them?
Well, my advice is to keep an eye on it and try to keep it ventilating somehow and keep the air moving from inside the tank during the entire 24-hour curing period. Because I watched that thing and I babysat it until 9 o'clock that night and checked it and everything's cool. The next morning, over the night, the fumes came and they bubbled the paint. So I would come up with some sort of a vacuum system or something to evacuate the tank while it's drying to protect the custom paint for sure. Absolutely.
And I guess the important thing or the cautionary note on something like that, make sure there's no way whatever you're using is far enough away from the tank so there's no spark or anything.
You're going to have to learn how to figure out a way to evacuate it and to keep it away from any kind of spark for sure.
Well, hey, sorry that had to happen to you. Appreciate the tip.
Hey, no problem.
Okay, thanks. Are you into good-looking bikes? Well, choppers, I should say. Do you like to look at what other people have put together? Get some ideas for your own bike? How about ride videos around San Diego and Southern California? Do you like to watch those? Maybe find some new roads to explore? Hey, how about just riding some nice custom bikes around? Get an idea of what they feel like to ride a nice custom with a 124 engine. Or more importantly, hey, what about working on your own bike? Tips on how to do things. And naturally, what about special events motorcycle events around Southern California and San Diego. Are you interested in those? And lastly, hey, let's not forget about the biker babes. Do you like to see good-looking babes and good-looking bikes together? Well, if the answers that you gave on all of these are yes, well, guess what? You should definitely subscribe to this channel and also directly to my blog, because that's what you'll find there. Be sure to visit our very popular motorcycle blog. It's San Diego Custom Motorcycles.info. And when you're there, mark it as one of your favorites. Also, be sure to get a subscription to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any of our future videos. Hey, thanks for watching.